On this episode of the Bedroom Podcast.
If you want to be a low standard or live a certain life where you are complaining or you are caring about other people's actions or like that's totally fine. You can. But at the same time, I don't think you should really complain about society. That's my personal opinion. You cry about that. I don't really care. But you go live you. I don't care. Anyone has the choice to do anything that they want. There's just consequences to everything. And I would argue that no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you cry, if you don't do these hard things, I'll believe you become unhappy. And with this, I want people to be happy. I want people to self-improve. You go, you live if you want to. Misguide me using your body. You got me. Hey guys, welcome back to the Bedroom Podcast. It's Michael Rice here, your host. I apologize about the past few weeks. One week I did lose the audio for one of the podcast episodes. The other weeks I was just taking some time for myself. Today's podcast is going to be about choices. I'm also going to go into the Kyrie Irving tweets, just how I feel about that. This might be a shorter episode today, but um, it just depends on how long that Kyrie Irving rant goes. But yeah, let's just get right into choices. Basically, what is a choice? A choice is anything in your daily life, anything. If you choose to stand up, if you choose to be happy, you choose to feel depressed, if you choose to eat ice cream or you choose to eat a salad, those are all choices. Choices can be good or bad, but it depends on who's looking at it. To some people, you can let's just take to the extreme. Let's just say a murderer. He thinks his choice to kill someone is a good choice. To everyone else, is that a good choice? Probably not. Maybe to other people, like a very, very small percentage of people, like, oh yeah, that might be a good choice. But to the majority of people, murdering someone is not a good choice. The reason why I say that is I want people to understand that sometimes why people say things is that it's the best choice for them, or it's the best choice for a majority of people. It might not be the best choice for you, but for the majority of people, it's the best choice. And I think a lot of people conflate it and be like, "Oh, I don't want to let's just say work out. Like, I don't think working out is the best choice for me." Fantastic. It depends on what life you want to live. And that's why I stress so much in my first episode about figuring out who you are. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be in your life? And for most people, they want to live long. They want to spend time with their family, go out to vacations, and they want to do a lot of things, maybe be successful. Um, and they want to do a lot of things in their life. And the reason why I do this podcast is for self-improvement, for the people who do want to do a lot of things in their life and who want to go far places. And to do that, you will have to maintain your body. You will have to maintain your health. You can't get sick. Well, you get sick less often. You can go on hikes, trails. You can spend more time with your family. You'll live longer. There's a lot of benefits of working out and keeping up with your health. But again, that's why I stress, do you want that or not? Because some people don't even want a family. They don't want to go out on hikes, don't want to enjoy nature. They they just want to sometimes sit at home or not really be that active. And if the choice is to not work out and not take care of your health or anything like that, that's all up to you and that's totally fine. That is totally fine. But again, I am stressed the who I am helping, then the people I want to help are the people are for the ones who want to do a lot in their life, and that includes everything, going out, um, their mental health, their physical health, and literally everything. So again, choices are neither they're good or bad, but again, it's really depends on the person and the perspective of who's looking at it, really. Um, our choices are not really like black and white. Um, we don't like a lot of people today think that they only have two choices. That they only have two choices. They can they either stay working at their 9 to 5 job or basically die. And all they can do is work their 9 to 5 job and never get anywhere in their life because either the government's oppressing them, taxing them too much, or doing stuff like that. And you get caught up in this loop. It's like I either you know, get depressed to a point where I want to take my life, or I just keep working this 9 to 5 job and hopefully I get lucky and, get a job opportunity where I make more. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't see any other choices in their life. A scenario I want to bring up is like to compare it to, it's kind of like in Spider-Man. I don't know if anyone's seen Spider-Man 1, but when the Green Goblin has MJ on one side on a cable, and then he has a group, like a bus full of like kids and people, and he gave Spider-Man a choice. He said, you can either save the love of your life or you can be the hero, because those are the two things that Spider-Man wants the most. You know what I mean? And he only gave him two choices. But the difference is, if he chooses one, he loses the other. The difference with what Spider-Man did is that he didn't conform to what the Green Goblin wanted. He didn't choose, oh, I'm gonna only save one. He saved both. But what's the cost of saving both? The cost of saving both, he put himself at danger. He suffered pain, and it's hard. So what I wanna where I'm going with this is basically, if you guys want to be successful, if you guys want to grow, if you guys want to be happy, you guys want to feel the most enjoyment in your life, you're going to suffer. You're going to have pain. You're going to hurt because you can't grow if you don't go through things, if you don't go through pain. If you don't go to the gym, your muscles are never going to get stronger. If you don't break down and basically hurt yourself, because it's really painful to go to the gym. Like, I'm sore today. um, you're never gonna get stronger. A fantastic thing that I saw was on TikTok, and this is kind of what kind of inspired this. This Christian, I know it doesn't matter if you guys are religious or not, but this pastor, this Christian, he was on a campus and he basically said, it was like a motivational speech, and he was like, I asked God for wisdom, and He gave me problems to solve. I asked God for strength, and He gave me mountains to move. I asked God for courage. He gave me fears to overcome. And basically, what that means is that you guys have to go through hard things to become better. A lot of people are expecting to just sit there and become better, and that the government's supposed to make everything easy for them, and then their life is going to be easy and they're going to be happy. For one, the government's not going to do that. I'm going to tell you right now, no government in the world is going to do that for you. And in my personal opinion, they shouldn't ever do that for you. I don't. I think it's doesn't help humans at all. At at all. If anything, it will just make them lazier and want more from the government. We live in the most privileged place in the world. My bad. Um, and we still complain. We still complain, and it's crazy. It's like, that's what my point is like, no matter how good the government gives us, no matter how good our lives are, we are always wanting more. And the only way we don't want more, or the only way to feel satisfied, is that if we overcome that satisfaction of easy things, of simple pleasures, right? So to do that, you have to suffer. You have to go through things. You have to go through hard times. You I watched this one podcast that says that, for specifically for men, that they have to go through a breakup, or they have to go through something to really hard to kind of find their masculinity, to actually be a man. Because if they get easy things all their life, they're not going to change. Is there a possibility that you have an easy life and you're spoiled and everything, and you become can become a better person and self-improve and have a really good life? Yes, but the probability is really small. You know what I mean? Um, you just take things for granted. I think a lot of people take a lot of things for granted. Um, it's just crazy what we can complain about. in today's day and age. Just a hint into the Kyrie topic, we can complain about Kyrie trying to be curious and be like, "Hey, this is my history, you know, this is African American history, and I had no idea about any of the Jewish stuff in the book. I just want to explore my African history in this book." And then people can get offended over that and cancel Kyrie Irving. Well, he's actually on a game suspension. He's actually suspended by the Brooklyn Nets because of his curiosity for his race, which is crazy. That's how privileged we are, is that we care about everyone's kind of pussy ass feelings. It's crazy. It's crazy. Um, but we'll go into that a little bit later. But basically, you have to struggle to become better. You have to. You have to go through difficult times. And what I do is I purposely put myself through difficult times. Um, I work harder than I'm supposed to, do one more rep than I'm supposed to, do anything. I actually brush my teeth with my left hand to start becoming more dominant with my left hand because it builds not motivation but like discipline or uh willpower. That's what it is. It helps build willpower. So I purposely do it so I can build up my willpower. And that's kind of what we have to do is like people like, "Oh, I don't want to work this hard, or I can't overcome this, or my life's too hard." And that's because you don't take little steps so that you can overcome these challenges. And that's what I kind of like about a lot of religions, or at least Christianity. Sorry, we're going into it a lot. But basically, like what God does is He gives you small challenges, little small challenges, so that when these big challenges come up, you can go overcome them. But basically, yeah, I went a little bit too long on that one, but basically all it is you want to put yourself through little things so that you can overcome the big ones. Um, and the last one is an optimal choice. So we have multiple choices in our life, and we either label them good or bad. But there's also always an optimal choice. The optimal choice is one that gets you exactly where you want. The only thing about the optimal choice is that it's hard. It's hard to do. Let's say this: the ultimate goal for some people is to have a fantastic body, or the ultimate goal is to be successful, or to get married, or to do certain things like this. These are choices that people want to do, but to get to that, you have to choose to do harder things, work on yourself, go to the gym, um, work harder, spend more hours at work, take risks, do your own business, and these small choices to get to that ultimate choice is hard. But that's ultimately what you want, but it's really hard to get to. So some people just go for the easy one, the easy choice, but it's not optimal. It's not really what they want. It's not really the choice they would choose if they could choose the other one without any of the hardships. And I want to, on this podcast, I really want to help people choose that ultimate choice, like see that that choice that they want is worth it, and it's worth it to go through the hard things and to choose, try to get that ingrained in your mind. It's like I want to say yes every single day and do the hard thing, no matter how hard it gets, just so that I can get to what I want. And that's why I want to push people and ingrain in their mind is that that's what you guys want. Every single second of the day, you want to put yourself through that hard time so that you can, or go to the gym so that yeah, you can get the body that you want. Work harder so you can be successful as you want. Work on yourself so you can get the relationship that you want, but it's going to be hard. And I know if you get a taste of what it is, I know for a fact all of you will want to do those hard things. I got a taste of what it's like to have a good relationship. I had a taste of what it's like to have money, and I had a taste of what it's like to have a good body. And And ever since then, I don't want to stop. Do I have breaks in hair now and then? Yeah, I just had one. I just took 3 weeks and I didn't do anything that really pushed me to where I want to be, but I learned from it and my mind is now so much stronger to say no to things that don't lead me to where I want to be. So, in conclusion, guys, just ingrain in your mind or do the small things so that it gets ingrained in your mind that I want to be this. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be much more rewarding. You only have one life, so why not live it to the fullest? It might be hard at the beginning, but trust me, it only gets easier. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you might keep doing hard things, but that lifestyle soon becomes easy. It soon becomes like, I like to do these hard things because I know that in the future it'll be rewarding. Moving on, the next thing we're going to talk about, I know a lot of people say America is the land of opportunity. Well, that's what America is. For this podcast purposes only, I'm going to say America is the land of choices. You have so many choices in America. And sometimes these choices cloud what we should actually do. We have the choice to become whoever, whatever, do whatever we want. We can become a man, we can become a woman, we can complain, we can cry, we can say that people hurt our feelings, we can work harder, we can do a hard labor job, we can do a easy office job, and I can go down the list of all the things we can do, and all of these choices are seem so appealing because they're easy and they might get you partial of what you want. And that's what really distracts us today is that we don't we have so many choices and so many things that distract us that it's hard to do the things that we actually want to do. Um, just because they're harder to do. Like going back, the choices and who you want to be are going to be hard. And having all these choices in America is going to be very difficult because, like, for me, and be like, I can either stay in tonight, go to sleep early, so I can wake up early, get a shower, and eat a healthy breakfast before I go to work. Or I can go out, drink, party, watch a movie. I have so many choices, and it's gonna shit, it's gonna cloud what I actually want to do. I actually want to go to bed early. I actually want to wake up, take a brush my teeth, shower, eat a healthy breakfast, pack my lunch, and go to work. Because if I don't do that, I know I'm not gonna take a shower, which is not good. I'm not going to I'm gonna wake up 15 minutes before work, maybe be late, not eat a healthy breakfast, probably pay for lunch, and do a lot of things that I don't want to do tomorrow. And that's based on one thing and going to bed early. It's crazy. Just because there's so many choices to choose from. People in America are the most privileged people in the world because of all the choices that we have. And we still complain. And going to the point, this one's gonna be super controversial, but I don't think people are allowed to complain until they add value to the world, at least in America. We shouldn't complain about anything. I don't really care about what you're like. I don't care if someone hurt you. Like, I get it if it's something huge, but I don't think people should complain about their feelings, complain about racism, complain really about anything until they add value to the world. Because why should I respect your opinion? Why should I respect anything if you're not adding value to the world? And you can say, well, I work a 9 to 5 job. You work for someone else's company. You eat someone else's food. You live in someone else's house. I can go down the list of all the things you take from the world. What are you doing to give back to the world? And that's the biggest thing. And if you're not giving back to the world, why should I care about how someone is hurting you? And you can say, uh, well, I mean, I can't add value to the world. And what I'm complaining about is why I can't add value to the world, why I can't be successful. There is no excuse for not being successful in America. I don't care who you are, what race, what gender, what anything. Um, there is no excuse for anything. People come here dead broke, not even knowing the language, become more successful than the average American. So I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear it. At least don't complain. It's funny that people have the audacity to complain about what the government's doing wrong or what some certain groups of people are doing wrong when they give nothing back to the society. It's just so, so sad. Or that what they're giving back to the society is their own cause. It's like, oh, let's support my group so we can complain more. Support my group so we can help our problems. No, that's not adding value to the world. You should create businesses or create houses or maybe uh, add value mentally, help people stop with therapy or stop, you know, the suicide numbers or something. Add some sort of value before you start complaining about your own problems. It is as simple as that. I know people are not gonna like that one, but I really don't care. I really don't care. I think it's ridiculous how soft people have become and how I'm expected to care about your problems. I'm not, again, I'm not responsible for your problems. I'm not responsible for your feelings. I'm not responsible for how you feel about what I say. If you're offended about what I just said, that's on you. That's not on me. Um, it seems backwards in America to say that, but again, America is backwards, and that's kind of my point. People get paid. People can get paid to sit around and do nothing. Like the unemployment pisses me off. Like what? Like the government is paying people to sit down and be lazy pieces of shit. That's gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings. I don't care. Because you are lazy pieces of shit. If you do, like, you are you're living in someone else's house for free, eating other people's food for free, getting money for free without doing anything. Blows my mind. I don't, I, I don't care what you've gone through. You should be able to work. The only people that should get any sort of money or help or support are disabled or people, not the average human being. But the average human being shouldn't be getting an employment check, or I don't even think they should have gotten a stimulus check. But um, I really don't care about that one. It is what it is. Um, Again, we have a lot of advantages in America, so but most people don't use them. They just complain first, and that's what's scary. That's what's hurting your self-improvement, is that you complain first so that you can get more advantages so it's easier on you so that you become successful. The difference is the only way to ever be successful in ever in history is to work hard. It is simple as that. To overcome adversity. Um, a lot of people don't want to do the hard work. So at that point, you shouldn't complain when you're not successful, you're broke, you don't have the life you want, you don't have the relationship you want. It sucks, but you don't deserve it. And I would say no one deserves anything. You have to earn it. Every single person. And it'd be like, well, it's harder for me to get there than someone else. It's harder for someone else to get a certain place that they want to get to than it is for you. Again, before we even go into like, oh, I want to help my group of people, again, become someone, add value. Because at that point, it will change how you think about things. It's not, oh, it's easier for this group of people to get where I wanted to be. It's more so I want to help my community. I want to help the people that are struggling with what I went through because I know how to overcome it. And it will really change the way you look at people. Really will. Because you will stop looking at people as black or white. Instead of you'll look at people as people you love. Because yeah, hey, that community goes through things that are really hard. There's things that every community goes through. Every race goes through, every gender goes through. um uh that is hard, that's difficult, and that there's privileges in every community, every gender, and every race as well. And you're only looking at what other people have and not what you have. And that's what's dangerous. There's a lot you can do in the world. There's a lot you can become. I have a high standard for humans because I've seen humans overcome the biggest adversary. And what we have in America is like nothing. I don't even know what to compare it to. I want to compare it to something small like uh yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know. What we have in America is just too easy. It's really just too easy. Like we are so privileged. We don't even understand. And people have gone through so much. Like, let's just put it this way. What about the Battle of the 300? Those people went through so much more adversity, and they didn't just like somehow be like, "Oh my gosh, God, come help us and kill our enemies because it shouldn't be this hard for us." No, they just did it. They were like, "Nope, we're gonna stay strong. We're gonna get strong. We're gonna get wiser, smarter, so that we're able to beat this army, and we're gonna fight till our last breath." And they won. They didn't care how hard it was. They didn't care what they had to go through. They just did it. And that's harder than anything, any racist comment, anything that anyone has ever said to anyone in America. So whatever you're going through, just remember there's a lot of people in history and a lot of people in today's earth, in today's world that are going through 10 times, 100 times, a million times harder than you, especially if you live in America. There's very few people in America who are going through things that are tremendously hard. And if you get offended by that, it sucks for you. You're like, oh no, I'm going through some hard stuff. I live in a poor place and I'm this color or this race or blah blah blah. Bro, it, you know how easy it is to get a little I don't even understand. I don't understand. You know, bro, some people die to get to America. Die. Cross borders, go through seas, go through a lot of things to get to America. I don't want to hear complaining about where you like that stuff. Like if it's serious, like hey, I've got like sexually assaulted or something like that, my something actually substantial, then that would make sense. But anything like race or where you live or anything like that, political stuff, that does make sense. Finally, my favorite segment, Kyrie Irving. Whew. So I'm gonna go off because Kyrie Irving, I don't know if you know, but he's a basketball player. He plays for the Brooklyn Nets. And he basically found this movie on Amazon that kind of said that uh, Jews, the true descendants of Jews, were African Americans. So that's the true heritage of um, Jews. And he was like, he tweeted out and he like had the cover of the movie, I believe, and he just basically tweeted out that movie, just saying about the heritage of Jews and how they were African Americans. And there was just something in that movie about Adolf Hitler that was like supporting him or something like that, and and then the Jews got offended, which is like crazy to me. I think that's the most pathetic thing I've ever heard in my entire life. You're getting offended over on Kyrie, asking him to apologize to you. Hell, Kyrie, if you ever hear this, bro, never apologize, bro. If anything, laugh. I wouldn't laugh in their face because that's kind of mean and not compassionate at all. But, but, dude, that is crazy. That is crazy to put that about yourself. He was doing this about for his community. He was saying, "Hey, this is our heritage. This is what I'm passionate about. Um, I want to dive deeper into my heritage because my heritage, we're not all good people. We could be good people. We have good parts and bad parts about our history, and I'm going to share it all because that's who I am. I'm not going to promote, you know, some evil person saying, "Oh yeah, this person was a good person," or what he did was righteous or whatever, whatever. I'm going to say hey, this is what it is. This is where we come from. And that's what Kyrie's passionate about. I mean, he has Black Lives Matter. People call him Martin Luther Irving. There's a lot of things about Kyrie where he just wants to explore his African American descent. And it's crazy that the Jews can get offended when he's doing that. Oh, I want to get no. No, just stop. That is crazy. I'm not even what Kyrie did was too much in my opinion. He was like, I apologize to Jews. No, don't apologize to them. There's no reason to apologize to the Jews. There's zero reason. That's it, it just what that does is again, when going back to you want to add value to the world so you can look at the world differently so you will help your community. Kyrie's helping your communities. All these other communities are not adding value, low lives, crying, have complaining, doing nothing for their life. And so all they can do is complain about when other people hurt their feelings. That's all they can ever do. So what do? They just go around crying, complaining, going, "Oh, cancel this guy, cancel that guy. What he said was wrong, hurt my feelings." Kyrie Irving is not responsible for anyone's feelings. Kyrie Irving isn't responsible for if he says something, if it offends you. I don't care. You have in America, you are privileged to even have social media. You can turn social media off whenever you want. You don't have to listen to it. You don't have to like it. You don't, nothing. If that hurts your feeling, turn it off. But obviously for Kyrie, that's what he wanted to explore. That's what he wanted to promote. Um, Not Adolf Hitler, but his heritage, um, the the heritage of African Americans, and of Jews, and that's simply it. If people had a problem, be like, "Hell, oh, maybe he supports Adolf Hitler and the way he treated people." Just ask him, don't cry and think about yourself first. Just be just be like, hey, Kyrie, like, why did you do it? Kyrie will simply give you your answer and it's done. No harm done. And you stop being offended. It is crazy that we first think about ourselves first. People are so selfish in America, and it's crazy. I have a bad habit too of always assuming people are hurting my feelings or um wanting or trying to offend me or uh I do the same thing too. I have road rage. Someone cuts me off, it's like, oh my gosh, that guy just inconsiderate, selfish, blah blah blah. That guy could be doing anything. That guy could be rushing to the hospital, maybe late to work, or and it could be literally anything. I don't have time to ask that guy. So why do I even stress it? And I was talking to my life coach, and he literally tells me, like, why not even use it for your good? Why not be like, hey, I'm just trying to learn patience. God's trying to teach me patience, how to be patient. Why not use it for that and to benefit me? Do not be offended, but to benefit myself. So let me give example. In the Kyrie example, how could you benefit from it? You can ask him, but how about this? Like, well, hey, maybe it's time for me to do more research about my own religion. Maybe do more research about Kyrie and what he stands for. Obviously, that guy, if you do research, obviously that guy doesn't support Adolf Hitler. Obviously, it's not a no, it's a no-brainer. So why would you even think that? It's stupid. And maybe you can just think about it and be like, hey, it's time for me to actually get to know people better or show more compassion. That's how you can use it. Instead of getting offended first, just try to use the circumstance in that situation to your good. This all goes back to choices. You have the choice to be offended, or you have the choice to grow from it. I choose every time someone says something rude, says something racist, says something whatever that I don't like. I choose to be happy, and it's hard because then at a point I get to be happy no matter what. No matter what someone says, matter what someone's do, um, or does, no matter what, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be full of joy because I use everything for my good. It's hard, but again, if you don't do the hard things, you're not going to grow. Why do these people work 9 to 5 jobs and losers and complain are unhappy and constantly are offended by everyone in the world? Because they don't want to do the hard things and it starts by not being offended and not complaining. It starts like that. Why are they living a bad life? And they might say they're living a good life, but I know they're not. How I know they're not is because if they're living a good life, they're not caring about what Kyrie Irving says. Period. You think millionaires or people are happy and like my grandparents are super happy. They don't give a shit about what anyone says about because they're happy. They're living a good life, bro. These people are obviously not happy. They're obviously not living a good life, and the only way that they can find sad, like their choice. What's the easy choice? To get offended, to complain, but it's not the ultimate choice. But they don't want to do what's hard to get where they want to be. Simple as that. Again, Kyrie, don't apologize. But yeah, again, this podcast is not for people who don't want to improve, who don't want to take that hard step. Are there things that we need to talk about and improve? Yes, of course. But I think we need to improve first as human beings because the standard in America is pathetic. The standard in America of a human being is really sad. Our culture sucks. The way we treat people sucks. The how hard we work sucks. How how entitled we are. I can go down the list. But again, Americans are really privileged to be the way that we are. The standard's really low. But if you want to be a low standard or live a certain life where you are complaining or you are caring about other people's actions or like that's totally fine. You can. But at the same time, I don't think you should really complain about society. That's my personal opinion. You can cry about that. I don't really care. But you go live you. I don't care. Anyone has the choice to do anything that they want. There's just consequences to everything. And I would argue that no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you cry, if you don't do these hard things, I'll believe you become unhappy. And with this, I want people to be happy. I want people to self-improve. But yeah, so in conclusion, I don't know if any of you remember the Morgan Freeman quote, but I'm gonna just change it up for this podcast. You need to get to a point where you can overcome and make choices that benefit you and your life. Overcome the hard things, overcome what makes you feel like you're oppressed or makes you feel like you're a victim. Overcome it and get to a point where you do things that benefit your life and choices that benefit your life. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Um, Sorry, I didn't prepare as much, so a lot of ums and ands in there, but thank you guys so much. Hopefully, I taught you things and there was good material in there where you guys can take it and grow from it or learn from it and grow. Um, and if there are things that are offending me, shoot your shot, bro. Be like, hey, I don't like what you said, or there's things that you do wrong. Yeah, there are things that I do wrong. Of course, there's things that I do wrong all the time. But the difference is my mentality and me wanting to fix them. So again, guys, thank you so much. I will be more consistent, but I'll see you next time on the Bedroom Podcast.